Happy Halloween! This is another episode of Danica's Bitesize Horror, and today we're going to be looking at the Halloween mask. We've taken it from the website Scary for Kids. If you're sitting comfortably, we shall begin. There was a boy named Lenny who really loved Halloween. It was his very favourite holiday, and he always tried to celebrate it in style. Every year he'd save up his money and buy the best mask, the best costume and the best decorations. This year was no different. Lenny was getting ready to go to a Halloween party at his friend's house. He got dressed up in a shaggy black coat, big black boots and a long flowing cape. Then he put on his Halloween mask and admired himself in the mirror. It was the scariest, most hideous mask he had ever seen. He was sure that everyone at the party would be terrified when they set eyes on it. He would be the envy of all of his friends. When Lenny turned up to his friend's house, the party was already in full swing. He could hear the dull sound of music coming from behind the door. He rang the doorbell and his friend answered it. She greeted him and ushered him inside. He looked around the living room. Some people were dancing and others were talking, laughing, drinking and nibbling at the buffet. There were witches, ghosts, skeletons, vampires and zombies. None of the masks were very scary. Lenny was sure that he had the best one. He stood there and waited for someone to comment on his mask. But no one paid any attention to him. He was disappointed. Wandering around the room, he tried to give everyone a good view of the mask. He wanted them to be scared. He wanted to cause a stir. One girl tapped him on the shoulder and started talking to him. "Hey, who are you supposed to be?" she asked. Lenny tried to reply, but he found he couldn't move his mouth. The mask felt too tight. He was embarrassed, so he turned away and went into the kitchen to get himself a glass of Halloween punch. He tried to pull off his mask so he could take a drink, but it wouldn't budge. It seemed to be stuck fast to his face. He pulled and he tugged on it, but no matter what he did, he couldn't get it off. Lenny was starting to get worried. It was hot inside the house, and Lenny could feel himself sweating under the mask. He needed to get it off. He needed to get it off now. Grabbing a knife from the kitchen drawer, he went into the toilet and locked the door behind him. He looked in the mirror and started scratching and tearing at the mask. But it really hurt. It was as if the mask was firmly stuck to his skin. Getting desperate, he took the knife and sliced into the mask, cutting off little strips of rubber and tossing them into the sink. Gradually, a queue formed outside the toilet and people started getting impatient, knocking on the door and calling out, "What's going on in there?" Lenny was in a panic, and he tried peeling off the rest of the mask, but it stubbornly stayed in place. He couldn't understand what was wrong. What if it won't come off? He wondered. What if it is stuck on my face forever? He began hacking at the mask with the knife again and ripping off little bits. More and more people were banging on the door. "Come on," they shouted. "What are you doing in there?" From inside the toilet, they heard Lenny shrieking, "It won't come off, my mask, it won't come off." The people gathering outside the toilet gave each other worried looks. One of the girls was puzzled. "Mask," she said. But he wasn't wearing a mask. Whether you found that story a trick or a treat, don't forget to let us know of some of the stories that you've heard over this spooky season. And don't forget to have a happy Halloween. If you enjoyed the show, why not like, comment and subscribe?